I knew you was gonna say that. I knew you was gonna say it. I see you.
Yeah.
Would you recommend this one-on-one?
Oh, absolutely. 1,000%. Absolutely. So get ready.
If you're a makeup artist watching this video, I have a ebook for you on how to start having your own makeup classes. All the things you'll need, how to structure it, how to price it out. Click the link below to purchase that ebook. You guys, welcome back to another beautiful tutorial with my girl Sadie. She was the client for today, and let me just say, I love my clients, because they really are the best women I have ever met. So first, we're going to start off with the skin. Cleansing it, prepping it. You could use witch hazel, you could use a toner, whatever you want to use. Let's just clear the skin. I don't care if you just took a shower. You always want to cleanse the skin, and you always want to make sure your hands are clean. Then go in with your spoolie or your eyebrow pencil and you brush up the hairs, okay? We are not playing around. We are getting the whole face situated. I'm going to go in with the Fenty primer on Sadie, and she's just going to put that all over her face, and she's just going to rub it into her skin. I love this primer. I think Rihanna did a fabulous job with this primer. It is one of my favorites. It does the skin so good. It grips on the foundation. It smooths the skin. It's amazing. I like to start with concealing underneath the brow. If you have been to any of my makeup classes, you know that I do not like to go into the brow with pencil first. Unless you're someone who's used to doing that, then sure. But if you're new and you're just learning, baby, skip that step. Let's go into concealing the brows first and really getting a nice base for our eyeshadow. Because when I tell you, by the time we do the whole face, whatever you thought you needed for your brows, it's going to be minus like 10, okay? So we're going to start off by putting her concealer. I believe I'm using Chestnut from Too Faced on her eyelids. And we're going to just diffuse that out. And then we're going to go in with a nice brown pigment and just stipple that all over. By placing tape from the corner of the eye, going towards the tail of the eyebrow, towards the top of the ear, as you guys can see here. And this is the best way to mark your guide when it comes to your shadows as well as your liner. This is how most people get their smoky cat eyes or their deep pigmented black cat eyes. Or if you're an OG like me and you've been doing it since high school, you know how to freehand. But if you're a new beginner at makeup, I always say use the tape. I still use the tape even when I do clients because, girl, why am I about to stress myself out and try to freehand it on your wedding day? Girl, no thank you. So what I'm telling Sadie in this clip is to go in with a color closest to her contour color. She had this eyeshadow palette, I believe, from Juvia's Place that she wanted to learn how to use. And so I'm always of the thought, use what you have and then buy what you would like later. So this tone of brown is a bit more cool tone. As you can see, kind of reads ashy, like that ashy brown. Not bad, but because Sadie is a very warm tone girly, her hair is copper, she pulls more yellow, I would rather her have something more brown. You'll see later in this video how we warm up her eyeshadow after we apply her lashes. But for the ride, we're going in with this brown and we're just focusing it into that crease and then also pulling it along that cat eye tape that we placed down. And then after that, we're going to go in and we're going to just stamp on some shimmer pigment. It's a gold. We're just going to press it in. I know a lot of women, whenever they do their eyeshadow, they say they feel like it doesn't show up. Now, it could be the brush you're using, it could be the pigment itself, or it could be the technique. Most people are so used to taking the eyeshadow and swiping it on the eyelid. I always recommend dabbing, pressing, stamping it onto the lid, which is literally going up and down. We're not going side to side with this. We're going up and down. We're pressing that pigment in, especially with shimmers. You'll see how much more vibrant it is when you do this. If you're not finding any headway with that, I always recommend using your fingers instead of the brush because sometimes the brush isn't the right materials to pick up the pigment. Just give your finger a little swirl into the product and then tap it into your eyelid. Always remembering to go on the lid and not the crease because the crease is just for our transition colors, okay? Good. Next is the liner, and I love going in with a cream liner. If you invest in a black liner pen or like liquid, you can always trace your lash line and then bring it straight out onto the tape. You're not going to follow the tape going up. You're just going to go straight across. Yes, at first it's going to look a little crazy because you're going to see this thick line on the tape, but trust me, that is not on your face, and when you lift the tape, it's going to be so much easier. So again, this is a one-on-one. So I gave Sadie the eyeliner and I said, girl, you got this, you can do it. And so I'm teaching her how to place her hand and how to place the product on her eye, so that way when she's home and she's practicing, she can do it. Always starting at the outer corner and then working your way towards the inner corner. As you get more comfortable with applying it, you're going to get more used to how your hands position on your face. You can see my girl Sadie, she is very shocked. She is very impressed by how that line is so sharp and so crisp. And she's feeling it. That's right, girl. At first, she was a little nervous, but I told her trust the process and that she's safe here. Whenever someone books a one-on-one or a makeup class with me, I always tell them, girl, you are safe here. You can make mistakes here. I'm here to help you on your makeup journey as you lock in your routine. And if you're a makeup artist watching this video, I have a ebook for you on how to start having your own makeup classes. All the things you'll need, how to structure it, how to price it out. Click the link below to purchase that ebook. I made it with my whole heart because, listen, out here in these streets, we can only do so many faces. And so one way to really grow your clientele and then also bless the girls is hosting makeup classes. All right, so the link is in the description below. You can always DM me and I'll shoot it over to you. But back to the video. So I just went in with some foundation and we're dabbing that foundation onto her skin. We're going in with, I believe it's NARS, can't remember the name, but the Radiant foundation, not Sheer Glow, Radiant. And so it's a more medium to full coverage foundation. And we're pressing that into the skin. We never ever want to swipe because what? Because it disturbs our skincare, our skin prep, and our primer that we have on the skin, okay? We're always going to dab. And then after we dab that into the skin and really buff it out, we're going to go in and start to highlight and conceal under our eyes. I always tell the girls, think of it as you're losing service going towards the air. So if you ever book a one-on-one with me, you're going to be laughing as we do this because it's so much fun. If you even come to one of my makeup classes, you'll see how much fun it is. You'll be laughing the whole time. I'm sorry, girl. I'm funny and cute. What can I say? But I understand that joy is the medicine for the soul, and so I always love to spread it. And so just like spreading joy, we are going to buff out this concealer and spread it along our face, okay? We're always going to use that tapping motion. As I say in all of my classes, we dab, we never drag, okay? I never ever want to see you guys like dragging concealer, dragging foundation. No, we always dab it because we're cute, we're pretty, and the Lord knows us, okay? Always that pressing motion, dabbing, dabbing, dabbing. Yes, you're going to feel like your hand is working out, but over time, you'll get so used to it, guys. I dab all the time. All the time. And so we're going to take that velour puff and we're going to buff out that concealer, really pressing it into the skin so that way it melts. And then when we get closer to the eye, we're also going to tilt and just blend it as close to that lash line as possible. I know we get so used to making this face. I don't know. It just helps us concentrate. Girl, I do it to this day. I don't know how stretching the mouth will make us feel like we're stretching the underneath of our eye, but hey, it helps, okay? And so more laughs with my girl Sadie. Isn't she so beautiful? Love her, literally love her, love her, love her down. She is absolutely wonderful. And so anyways, we're going to always blend that out. And so the more you blend, the more the lines will cease and the creases will cease. But remember, as you blend, you have to be prepared for your next step, which is powder. And so you go in with a thin layer, pressing that into the skin, not dragging at all. I saw her about to drag and then I was like, girl, and she was like, okay. Always remembering to press. And so where you take this setting powder, you press it all over the areas that you highlighted. And sometimes I like to just set the whole face, cheeks, forehead, everything. This helps the makeup last longer. And I believe we're either going in with Huda Beauty's setting powder or, yes, I believe it's Huda Beauty. If it's not Huda, girl, It's probably Laura. It's one of the two, okay? And if it's not one of those, it's probably Black Radiance. Yes, girl, Black Radiance. And so we press that all over the face, making sure we set all of those areas. Now, whenever you set under the eyes, you have to remember to keep that skin stretched. And so I know your girl is funny, but sweetheart, remember, we want those creases to be locked out, okay? Now, for contour, we're always going to start at the top of the ear closest to the temple. And that's why we avoid putting foundation as close to our hairline. We only use powder around the hairline when it's time to contour. Always thinking of the number 3 whenever we shape out our face, going from the top of the head to the top of the ear, to the outer part of the eye, back to the top of the ear, and then down along the jawline. And this is probably the only place that I would say that you can swipe really is the jawline. Everything else is always going to be dabbing because, baby, we are not disturbing the layers that we just created, especially if you want your makeup to be long wear. Same thing with the nose. We're going to dab first and then we'll do a little swipe. Swiping on the nose and the jawline are a little bit different because you're going on that bone. And so the way I like to teach people how to contour the nose is first learning and feeling how that placement is. So without going in with any product, you're going to start swiping alongside the nose. And then once you pass that test, you're going to go in and then start to swipe. Now, I was showing Sadie here. Instead of going down the side of the nose, you're going to go down from the top of the inner part of the eyebrow to the side middle of the nose. You don't want to bring that towards the cheek because you don't want to make your nose to appear wider. You want it to look smaller. After we do that, we're going to set After we do that, we're going to set the face with some setting spray. In this video, I used L'Oreal's setting spray. And then we're going to go in with some blush. At first, she didn't know if she was going to like the blush, but I told her, come on, you're here. Let's do it. Let's try. And so once she started getting like the vibe, she was feeling it. I know sometimes we see people wear blush and it could be looking like a lot. But girl, trust me, I used to hate blush. I used to hate it. Now I am blush blind. I love it on clients. I love how radiant it makes us look. It looks so beautiful. And so don't be afraid of a little blush. I love to say if you're a brown, medium tone to dark, or even light, girl, corals and peach tone blushes look so beautiful. And you can always top it with a pink. Now, going back to our brows, doesn't her brows look really good, even though we didn't put any product in there? What we're going to use is a fine tip pencil, and we're just going to fill in those little sparse areas with small strokes following the natural shape of her brow. And it's going to instantly bring her brows up a level. She has really beautifully shaped eyebrows, and so less is more for this. I don't want to overpower her face or even compete against the liner. And we both agreed that a softer, natural brow looks really good on her. And so always remembering that your brows are sisters, not twins. And then also paying attention to where the hair grows. I do recommend becoming a consistent brow girly as far as like going to your brow technician and getting them cleaned up as frequently as you could. This really helps you understand the shape of your face and your eyebrows. That way making when you fill in your brows a lot easier because you don't have to try to figure it out by looking at all that new growth or overgrown hair that is growing around your eyebrows. Okay. And then after that, we're just going to set the brows with a little bit of brow gel. This also allows the brows to look like that laminated effect. And I know the girls love this. Sadie was like, girl, look at her face. She could not believe it. That little bit of product I used, the Got To Be, on her eyebrows just to glue it down. And she was like, girl, no way. Some people like to go in the beginning with it. Some people like to go in the end. I like to tell people go at your own rate. Just know less is more and you can always build it up. Lips, you already know, a dark liner. If you're interested in knowing what color liners I recommend for us brown girls, us seasoned girls, let me know. I will do a video all about different lip combos for you, so that way you can go back and use it as a resource. For the inner part of the lip, I said let's go peachy, like a peachy pink on the inner, and this is completely different for her. So she was at first a little taken back, but when she saw the whole completed look, she was obsessed and in love. I love her bob, I love the copper hair, and I love that she was dressed, okay? Sadie girl, you are setting the bar high, girl, and I love that. I love when I see us women just show up like unapologetic, just fully in our, like, how God created us. Like, I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Okay, now time for lashes. I always like to teach the girls how to do lashes with the half C lash because it's not as intimidating as the full lash. When I tell you my girl Sadie, she did it. I mean, you guys don't understand. You can do so much more than you know. Sometimes you just need the proper direction. My girl Sadie put that half lash on like nobody's business, and she did it so well. I mean, I did not help her one bit. She did it. She just listened to instruction, took her time, and placed it. Now, going back to how I was telling you guys how her eyeshadow from that palette, it looked a little cool tone for me. This is how we warm up the eyeshadow. We just go in with her contour shade right over the previous eyeshadow, and look how beautiful that is in comparison to the other eye. Now, this is when Sadie did her makeup herself at home. She was not proud, but I told her, like, Sadie, you did really good for someone that's still learning how to do your makeup. So when she invested in herself and booked this class, when I tell you, my girl did her thing. She listened to instructions, and this is her results. Sadie, I am so proud of you, and I'm so excited for what God has for you in this new season. Like, girl, you did it, and I'm so blessed to be a part of your journey.
I just love it. It looks beautiful. So I love the eyeliner. I also like the bridge of the nose.
The contour of the nose.
The contour, yes, I love that. And then how we didn't do too much with the eyebrows, I love that. It's natural, it's beautiful.
I love
that.
that.
And then the blushy.
Period. I see you.
Yeah.
Would you recommend this one-on-one?
Oh, absolutely. 1,000%. Absolutely. So get ready.
Thank you, Sadie.
You're welcome.
Bye, girlie.
Bye.